Welcome to the mind of LANCESCURV, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.
The compliment. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of LANCESCURV. This is going to be freestyling and shooting from the hip, as always, but sometimes I read from certain notes that I jot down, but I have to talk about this. I want to thank my dear sister, who will remain unknown, who sent me this. What did she send me? She sent me these photos. These photos I took from an Instagram post, and the page was from Curly's Queendom, CURLYSQUEENDOM. Got to give credit where credit's due. You can find those photos there. I'll probably put the handle down below after the show. I want to speak about a multitude of things, but this is really what I wanted to say. The title being Digital Soul Snatchers, Artificially Engineered Lust Designed to Drain Your Life Force. Yes, engineered to drain your life force. Listen, the digital world, the AI world, it's shackling us now, and we don't even realize it. We are being trapped in it, and we're walking right into the trap. It's like a bird who has a line of breadcrumbs leading to a cage. And on the door of the cage is a string. And you line up all of these breadcrumbs far apart. And the closest you get to it, you add more, so they're just eating, and you see a big pile inside of it. And when they get inside and they say, whoa, we're going to eat these breadcrumbs and just be so full, you drop the door of the cage and they're trapped. They're seducing us into this like a snake charmer. You know the snake charmer? Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. And we're blinded by it. We're blinded by the convenience of the digital world. We're blinded by the things, the visuals that we see that are larger than life. And we're blinded by the human touch that's not human. Look in front of you, look on this banner. At first sight, it's a very, very attractive young lady. But when you really dig deep and understand what it is, that's not real. That's not a real human being. Fellas, let's be honest. I know what you were thinking. You know, when most men, listen, ladies, I'm going to give you a little secret here, right? When most men see a gorgeous, beautiful woman, no matter what the hue, the color, the height, the weight, whatever they feel is gorgeous, there's a little grunt that they do. Whether you can hear it or not, it might be softer. Well, fellas, how many of you saw this banner and saw the 4 photos, because there's more on that particular page. There's one more that I didn't put up. I don't want to squeeze too many. And the one behind my head, you can see a whole lot more of what's behind there if you go to that particular Instagram page and tell her that LANCESCURV sent you. She probably doesn't even know who I am. But Instagram's the catalyst for it, excuse me. But artificial intelligence, AI, the digital world, the digital banking system, what they have in China now, that if they find you to be a rabble-rouser speaking anti-government type talk, they can cut you from your own finances. And that's what's going to happen in the UK. I believe a certain bit of it has started. In the United States, it's slated for that. Digital prison, y'all. In a conversation, I'm going to verbally plagiarize a few things. We don't need courts anymore. They can just shut you out from your finances. We don't need to get locked up anymore. We can be arrested and put away and quarantined from this very thing that we are so seduced by. They can punish us at the push of a button. They can monitor us with their technology. And they can seduce us and steal our life force by the imagery that they place in front of us, that they have observed us watching. This is going to get deep. I'm going to sound like a quack, but you know I'm not afraid to say what I say. And I'm going to say ahead of time, you will hear an occasional cough. There's something going on with my throat. Been coughing every now and then, sweating a whole lot. But that's okay. The show must go on. Anyway, where do I start? Okay, let's start with the sex. Let's start with the sex. This is not going to be a lewd show. I'm going to try not to say anything that a child can't hear, or not a child, but someone 13 to 14 can't hear, but they already know. I've said it before. Where did artificial intelligence come from? Right? Let's talk about the visual aspect. Let me pull up my little stool here, and we're going to get down. Where did it come from? I mean, did we have this type of thing 5 years ago? I don't know. When did it really enter our world? How can they create a visual like this upon request? You know you can do that, right? They have different websites where you can say, I want a woman who seems to be in her 20s, and she's going to have a certain type of hair, certain type of shape. I want her to wear this and wear that, and do all the details. And it's created. How did they know to do that? You see, we're walking into the shackles. We're putting up so much pictures of ourselves. We're speaking on the things we like and what we don't like. That something is collecting all of this data, and now they're using it against us. There is, not to go off the rails too much, there is something out there that wants our life force. It wants our life force, y'all. Believe it or not, we're generating food and sustenance for something, some entity. I'm going to say it quick, and I don't want to turn you off. I'm going to get right back onto the topic. I feel the world's so-called leaders, not the ones we know, but the ones who are pulling the strings, right? They have compromised with something. I'm not going to say it's an alien from a different planet. Maybe it could be, right? But I feel it's something spiritual and sinister. After CERN fired off its particle blaster and ripped the fabric and very membrane between this plane, this world, in a demonic world, there are demons out here running across the land who want to devour our lives and our life force. What better way to do it? You see this picture, fellas? You see how we looked at it, most of us? That's a hook, and this image is a worm, and we want to bite into it. When most men watch porn, do you think they're on a treadmill? When most men watch porn, do you think they're reading the Wall Street Journal to check the stock report? When most men watch porn, locked away in a room with a big jar of lubricant, Vaseline, hand lotion, baby oil, whatever it may be, you know exactly what they're doing. And I told you before, these men who are doing this, and some of you ladies too, remember, there's a camera face back at you. There's a history to your computer. There's a readout. You can erase your history, but somewhere it's logged in. Just like with the whole keystroke program, you can watch what somebody goes and looks at on the computer from a remote location. And these entities are logging in what you look at, what you like, what you secretly desire, what turns you on. And when you're sitting there utilizing the KY jelly or the Vaseline or the hand lotion or the baby oil, it's right there with you. These invisible to the naked eye demonic forces that has increased in population across the earth through the various portals that have been opened. And while you're stroking away, while your toes are spreading, while you're panting, while your sweat pouring down the forehead, self is just looking at what you want to see. It's being recorded and logged what you like. And this is how AI can't come up with the imagery, the damn near perfect imagery of some woman that if she said, come over here, big boy, let's have a good time, you're going to call your wife and say, listen, honey, I'll be 3 hours late. I'm not saying every man's going to do that. I'm just trying to be funny, but I'm just trying to tell you like it is. How many, by a show of hands, and I know I can't see your hands, I'm being funny. Fellas, by a show of hands, how many of you would refuse this woman? The numbers are out there. You can lie if you want to. I ain't trying to get no trouble. I'm too old for this. I'm not trying. Oh, no. Maybe 40 years ago, I would have took a chance. But I'm telling you from experience, we need to be real with ourselves. This is one of the biggest ways to destroy a man. I'm not saying women are bad, but this is a new way to come at you because they'll snatch your soul. And I had to educate someone who is very knowledgeable in worldly affairs about this term, soul snatching. Okay, school is in y'all. Professor Scurv is in the room. If you have seen porn, come on, fellas, we've all seen it. Doesn't mean we're addicted to it. The use of porn is to manipulate yourself to orgasm while you watch a particular scene that turns you on. Duh. Now we have different scenes which pertain to oral stimulation on men, and the titles of those particular scenes, which may be 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it has some variation of the term soul snatcher. Soul snatching, she snatched my soul, she's snatching my soul. And why would you use this terminology? Why would it be put out there? Did we start saying that as men, that we're going to get together and when she gives it to us real good while she's on her knees, we're going to say she's snatching our soul? I believe that was a term engineered and put out there. And men pick up on that. And men who upload their own homemade porn, they'll title it that way. But usually it means a session so good, so toe curling, so blood rattling that it feels like she snatched my soul. Why would you even state that though? Do you know what you're saying? It's almost like when the entertainers say, well, I had to sell my soul. Whether it's true or not, whether it's possible or not, why would you even go through saying that? Don't you know you have some women, not all women, but real women out here who are Jezebels, who want to do just that, to control you with the overall sexual activity, and especially that act right there, because if you don't know, that thing feels real. It feels real good. Oh my God, it feels real good. Not being dramatic to be entertaining. I'm not sitting over here reminiscing over anything, because a lot of times those things, a lot of things I've experienced that you don't want to experience, because I see beyond the physical now. But now they're setting you up now. Notice how we're being pulled away from each other on a human level, especially in the black community. It's really bad. Black women talking about how bad black men are, how they're no good. I mean, that's the Western culture. You may not see it as much in the motherland where I am, because I'm in West Africa. I'm in Ghana right now. And you have a lot of traditional pairings that go on, and they have issues here too. We have issues as human beings all over the world. But I do notice the Western mentality creeping over here into Ghana with some of the young ladies who want to be like that type, who want to get paid, who want to win, whatever that means, to get stuff out of men. I got this car and I got this. He pays for my apartment or my condo. He took me on trips. He took me on cruises. I'm winning. I'm using my body. That was the prior video that I did. That was about 10 minutes long. But what are you really getting? And now we have many of our men. These black women ain't no good. They don't know how to talk to you. They just want money out of you. They just want this. They just want that. And now we're disgusted with each other. That's the setup. So now we've had porn for many decades out here. A long, long time. Back in the 50s, you used to have to go to a movie theater. In the 60s, you had Super 8 movie reels, but imagine that got kind of messy. There's a short little thing that goes around. You're not going to finish your session by the end of that time. When VCRs came, it drove that industry. And maybe here's a footnote that you didn't know. Most technology, as far as the visuals are concerned, the VCRs, the DVD players, the Blu-rays, all of that stuff, it's usually driven by porn. Of course, back in the day, you wanted to see Star Wars at home. You wanted to see a Robert De Niro movie at home. You wanted to see Scarface, a gangster movie, whatever. But really what drove it is that you can watch this stuff in the privacy of your own home. Now, if you notice when you see porn, because I have to admit, I know several actors and actresses, mainly actresses, who are in that industry. I used to be into bodybuilding. I used to train at gyms in Manhattan back in the late 70s and early 80s. And there were some who were there who worked out to keep their bodies a certain way. Okay? I'm not naming names. I could name names. If you know me, you know the names. And in that industry, it was kind of elite. You had big stars, but when you got the camcorder, when you got the phone and can make your own stuff and things went digital, the big industry had to compete with so many people. Just like now, the paparazzi who walk around to take pictures of celebrities and catch them off guard. Oh, I saw Denzel Washington going for the gold, digging up his nose at the restaurant after he ate dinner. Or you catch a celebrity in a compromising position. You can do that now. Everybody becomes a paparazzi. Hell, I got a couple of people who, when they see me, they put the phones on me, hoping to catch me doing something I shouldn't be doing. Ooh, look at that girl butt he talking to. I know he doing something. That's because that's your mind. I talk to everybody. So go on and paparazzi me. I might paparazzi you. So now, since we're driven away from each other and COVID came into being, oops, was I supposed to say that word or not? Well, we had social distancing. We weren't at work all the time. We were at home. We were ordering things out from Amazon. We got used to that. We got used to a little more solitude. We didn't have to deal with being stuck in traffic, being a little late to work, being with people. Let's go to lunch. What do you want for lunch? Let's go out for lunch. You didn't have that anymore. Social distancing, stay away from each other for at least 6 feet. I was almost going to break out with Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. But this is the thing, the social distancing, the fear of the germs, the fear of that jab. Excuse me, I told you I was going to cough. Fear of the jab. Now, you know, if you took the jab, or if someone took the jab and you engage in sexual activity with them when you're swapping each other's crotch sauces, it's just like you took the jab. It's in you. So now you got to be afraid of that. So we tend to now stay to ourselves. We're not as social. We're a little more careful. Hook, line, and sinker. We're more of an anti-social society. No matter what that title says about social media, it's nothing social in social media. We're sitting at the dinner with our family and everybody's looking down. At first sight, it looks like they're all praying. What kind of prayer is this? Your heads have been down for the longest time. Oh, we're in our phones. Everywhere you go, you're walking down the street, you're in your phone, falling in ditches. You're in traffic, driving fast, glancing down at your phone. You know how many accidents have happened since we've gotten smartphones and people are driving with their smartphones? You can't wait. It's a dopamine hit, y'all. When you see Facebook and it's all bluish and you see that little red dot Ooh, somebody gave me a message. Somebody replied to me. We have all day arguments and debates. I'm not saying me. I say we to just make it seem like I'm down with it, but I'm not. I'm in and out on social media. I'm a content creator. I create and I'm gone. The chef doesn't sit down with everybody and eat the food he prepares, but he makes it damn good. So now we have the social distance and the fear of the jab that you took. So I ain't gonna eat her stuff. I ain't gonna take none of that crotch sauce in my mouth. She might be, I'm putting that condom. That's all we gonna do. We don't want to connect with each other anymore. We don't want to marry each other anymore. We don't want to be engaged. We don't want to court. We don't want to date. It's an exchange now. It's an arrangement now. There's no emotion now. Why get emotional with somebody who's going to talk to you bad? That all black women are bad. And I'm not saying that. This is what you see out here. And all black women are not bad. Don't you believe that? We need each other. The black man needs the black woman, and the black woman needs the black man. Especially in this day and age. And we need to carry within us the love that we had in our community that grandma had for grandpa and great grandma had for great grandpa and neighbors had for their neighbors and community. And you could spank the kids that were not yours when you saw them doing bad, and they had 4 spankings that night when they did something really bad when you called the mother. Because you had the right. Wasn't no, oh, what you doing, putting your hand on my child. We've lost our mind, and now there's something else that's engineered, made to slip in to our lives that we focus on. What happened to the art of conversation? I'm talking to the fellas now. What happened to the art of conversation with a beautiful young lady that you're interested in? All you want to do is go online, look at some pictures or look at a video and masturbate yourself and roll over and go to sleep and avoid what you say is the trouble of getting to know a young lady and taking her out. You're sick. You're a social misfit and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. Ain't that sick? We have all of these dysfunctional relationships where we get into it on a limited basis because of the fear of being hurt, the fear of being used. But behind closed doors, Vaseline is being used and sperm is flying, and they're not even focusing on the real woman anymore. You can create your own woman. Don't you know, in Toronto right now, Toronto, Canada, you have a whore house without the whores. A whorehouse without the whores. House of prostitution without prostitutes. Lance, have you lost your mind? What are you talking about? Let me tell you. There's silicone dolls in there that look just like real women. You can go in there and have sex with them. The vaginas look, the mouth, the breast, the nipples, the bumps around the nipples and the areola and the warmth and the backside. You can go to town on this thing, but you're paying an establishment to go in and masturbate with a silicone doll. Don't you know when you have sex with a woman, males, and you have sex with a man, ladies, not that battery operated boyfriend, because y'all watch some porn too. There's an energy exchange. There's a connection being made. There's a soul tie created. And we fear soul ties. It's supposed to happen that way. When you are interested in someone and you have courted them, you dated them and courted them and then got engaged and got married, let the soul ties tie us on up. Those are righteous blinders that make it where you cannot see anyone else in your mind. Come on, y'all. Especially the fellas, because I've never been a woman, so I can't say. When you were younger, chances are, and it may not be true in every single situation, but you had your first sexual experience. And you didn't have a player mentality. You were open. Man, that thing felt good. Whatever you did, whatever fumbling around that you did that you didn't even know how to do what you did, like you think you do now. Because you know, we all think when we get older, we're smooth operators. We're starring in our own video when we do what we do. She down there, face down, other things up, and you look in the mirror like, yeah, I'm just so cool. We have all of these things attached to sexuality, sensuality, and the connectedness with the opposite sex. And a lot of these things should not be here. But we're missing now something. Something's missing. Something's taken the soul out of our connection. And we've given it up to social media, exposing our lives, what we like and what we don't like. And when it comes down to it, what we do behind those locked doors with that jar of lubricant before we go to sleep. So now you're already, and I'm not talking about a teenager with an overactive libido, but the more you indulge in this, is the less chance you have of connecting with someone on a really deep level. And when you get caught up in this worm, this really good looking worm on this banner, on a sinister hook, your soul is actually being snatched. You don't have it in you to have a soul tie with anyone anymore. Soul ties are wonderful. Imagine, listen, most of us, please listen to me. I want to just tell you something. Most of us have had really bad experiences with the opposite sex. I understand that. And most of us have become tentative, a little leery, a little hesitant. I remember what happened to me before. I'm not going to open up like that. You know, I don't want to get hurt. She's nice now, but she might break my heart. But when you had your first connection, doesn't mean the first sexual experience, but your first real feeling for a love connection, which I wonder about the youth now, because they're so tainted by what they hear the older folks in their life say. A lot of them are just not going to open up. I heard my mama talking about when my daddy used to cheat on her, and now she ain't going to really deal with nobody. They better have a lot of money, and she got to get money from them. Just all these things that are messing up our children. But can you remember? Can anyone here remember when our world was a little better? And I always say, we had issues, we had challenges, we had obstacles to surmount, and we did it together. We did it together with our significant other. Yes, people cheated. Yes, there were drugs. Yes, there was homosexuality. Yes, there were all kinds of things out here. Yes, I understand. We had wars. We had inflation. We had poverty. We had gangs. We had cults. We had all the stuff that we have now. But now it's even worse because we are not together and we are detached. And we're giving our soul to something that is demonic. Why do you think when you manipulate yourself and you have these fantasies and when you click on something and look at it, you got 50 other things that are similar to that theme that you click on? Well, that one might be better. See, I talk with the brothers and we talk deep and they open up to me. So I'm not going to reveal any names, but they said it's okay to talk about these things. Sex addictions. I will say it's one thing to have a sex addiction, but you want to get addicted to something that's not real? You're going to pay money and go to a Toronto whorehouse? What kind of life are you living? They say porn makes it where you can't even relate to a woman as a man. You don't even know how to talk to her. You don't even know the proper way to talk to a beautiful woman. You're intimidated or you just don't know because you know what you're thinking. Yes. As a young man, I would think the same things too. And I would admit it. You're a beautiful young lady. Oh my God, I can't imagine. You couldn't imagine the thoughts I was thinking. But you know what? I like you. And I want to get to know you. And this is not jive talk. This is not a rap. I see all that you have on a physical level. But I do like the fact that you have a brain. I do like the fact that you can talk. I do like the fact that you're ambitious. I do like the fact that you're motivated to be more than what you are today incrementally. That also turns me on. Because breasts and hips and backsides and vagina and the sweet nectar that flows from inside of you, you can get that pretty much anywhere else. Just be careful. You can't be drinking everybody's nectar. So there was more to it back then. We had love songs. Take to the sky on a natural high, loving you more to the day I die. Loving you more to the day I die. It ain't no loving you more to the day I die these days. It's just sexing you a whole lot more until I leave later on. When will I see you again? Women don't sing that no more. They don't care if they sing. I'm not saying all women now. Ooh, dropping my mouse. Thank the creator, my other computer is off. When will I see you again? They don't care. Let the door hit your backside. I'm glad you left that little bit of money for me. I'll see you next week, sugar daddy. I got 5 more. It's so disconnected. It's like playing a strategic game. It's like playing a video game where if you make the wrong move, you're going to blow up. What kind of world are we living in? Digital soul snatchers, the final frontier. What are you connecting on to? What are you getting turned on? Who are you giving your sexual and sensual energy to? Look at the soft curves of her back behind my head. Right up under the bra strap, there's a little body fat, but it's beautiful. Look at the backside. Look at the dress. Look at that. You know what time it is if you see her in the house like that? This is made to rouse you up. But all I'm saying, ain't nobody behind that. Where is your energy going to? You are giving your energy away to demonic spirits and demonic entities. This whole system you've been sold out on. You don't have to agree with me on that. I'm just telling you what, and that's why you come here. You know you're going to hear from LANCESCURV what he really thinks. It could be more complicated than that. I have to explain a little more. I'm just saying that's what it is. We can discuss even more. And if you want me to, I will. You can get on a conference call with me. We have to designate that. Listen, the conference call, the conference line, it's not like you just jump on there when nobody's on there and people are going to come. We have to agree, okay, on this time, on that time, let's make a time when we can get on the conference line and you can add in your opinions and your viewpoints with your own voice. You don't have to tell me who you are. We can talk. Also, the comments on this one will also be disabled. I want you to come to the website, LANCESCURV.com, and leave your comments there. I disabled comments on another video before. I have to go there. I'm going to engage with you personally when you leave your comments on the particular page that deals with this particular show video. You go there. The link will be in the chat room, up top and pinned. You can do that for me. But this is a very, very serious thing. It's very dysfunctional. It's a game now when we see the opposite sex. It's a game now. We act like we're not interested, but we're starving on the inside. I know teenagers play the little games and they go through the little phases. They have their little insecurities and stuff, but not people in their 30s and 40s and 50s. I'm a man. I'm made for a woman. I'm a man. Of course, I'm married. I'm saying this theoretically. I want a woman. I love everything about a woman. The mental, the spiritual, the physical, the emotional. The different roles that my woman will play. And it's not a play thing. I'm just saying it as a figure of speech because that's how we talk. She plays different roles in my life. She's not my mother. I'm not looking for a mother. But she will mother me when I have a bad case of the flu. She will mother me when one of my discs will slip out of my spine and I can't hardly walk. Temporarily, she will look after me that way. I'm not her daddy. I'm not trying to be her father, but I can be one who can replicate that energy when the little girl in her, I'm not saying she's a little girl, needs that. Come here, baby. Let me just comfort you for a little while. You know, it's going to be all right. She's my partner. I am to admire her. She's a heroine to me. I didn't say she's heroin like the drug. I mean heroine like a male hero, a female heroine. I am the man that I'm supposed to lead, but I'm not supposed to be a dictator. She sees that I lead properly. She righteously submits, although we do have the 50-50 positioning. And if it's her forte, if she can cook damn better than me, it ain't going to be 50-50. It'll be 85-15 or 95-5. If there's something that I do faster, stronger, almost like the Bionic Man, we can rebuild him. We can make him stronger, faster. Doo-doom, doom, doom, doo-doom. Ooh. You remember that back in the 70s? Lee Majors. Whatever happened to him? Anyway, she will righteously submit and say, hey, he got this. But it's not for us to lord over. All I'm saying is that look at the dynamics of a real relationship. Can you have that with an artificial intelligence, digital soul snatcher? I've always said this. Think about it. We talk about the spiritual realm. We talk about disembodied entities. You are in your body right now. You're moving your body. You're in your vehicle right now. When you leave your vehicle falls down and goes back to the earth, but where's the energy that drove it? Where is it? Does this thing in front of you have any energy that you can relate to? But you're giving it your energy and something is taking it. And since we who know better that there is a spiritual realm that we cannot see, there's another dimension that we cannot see. There are things good and bad because there's good and bad energy in the universe moving about and around and about. So for these demonic entities that want a body to occupy and want to be the focus of one's life force through sexuality, why not present something in front of you that you can focus on? And that entity that you can't see is benefiting from you stroking yourself and feeling the orgasm wash over you. And there are other things that are around you, manipulating you, putting things in your head as you click after one porn scene and the next. I said it before. Have you ever seen a flick or a porn site that now has cartoons and artificial intelligence engineered images that have beautiful women having sex with oversized demons? Tell me I'm lying so I can dig it up and show you, and I'll do another show, but I can't show it on most social media platforms. I can show it on LANCESCURV.com, but not on this particular one. Demonic entities 10 and 12 feet tall with 6 feet, 6 foot penises going in from behind and coming out the throat. And this is larger than life, of course. But what are they trying to get us to accept on a subconscious level? That one day we might catch a glimpse of what these things look like and invite it on in? Come on now. Long before AI, we knew about the incubus and the succubus. How do you remember that? Well, the incubus is what goes in the woman, and the succubus is what sucks on the man at night. You wake up with these sexual feelings, you have these dreams, you have these things that are put into your head, you have these visuals. I mean, it's bad enough if you're a man who has had multiple partners and you start thinking about who you've been with, and your mind is hungry for more and more stimulation because now you're numb and you can't receive the stimulation from one woman. So your mind is clogged up with all this imagery, like corroded terminals on a battery. Oh, the battery's okay. We just have to clean up the terminals because there's a little corrosion around there. The porn and the imagery has corroded our minds. So we're with a woman who wants to be with us, who is interested in us, and who wants to be with us literally forever. What is forever? I mean, on this level, it might be 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but there's something out there more when you bond with somebody. Isn't it frightening that you can go through so many? And I've had to wrestle with this in my own life because I was not a saint, and you all know that. I had to think, man, that's nasty. It's too much. What am I bonding with? You remember back in the day when they said, if you lay down with somebody, you actually went to bed with everybody that they went to bed with. Ain't it something? Now, that's not too cool because if I'm with a straight woman, I go to bed with her, and she's been with a whole bunch of men. It's not like I went to bed with them, but their energy is connected to her and it's connected to me. Think of it as long, invisible ropes that can go all around the planet. And whoever you've been with, if it was somebody from 40 years ago, 30 years ago, unless you cleanse that soul tie and disconnect it, that long string, that long rope, excuse me, that long spiritual rope is connected to you. Do we have bipolar 50, 60 years ago? Maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe it was a misdiagnosis. Maybe it's a term they just made. But maybe some of the people that they say have this bipolar disorder, maybe they have an abundance of soul ties. What do you think? Leave it in the comment section on LANCESCURV.com, of course. Because, you know, YouTube snatches comments and unsubscribes people. We don't want to get down like that. This is where we meet, but we're going to take this to the back room of LANCESCURV.com. Yeah. Imagine it being a long rope connected to you and all the people you went to bed with. And there's some type of energy transfer, no matter how subtle, it's still there. So you wake up angry one day. I'm talking to the sisters and the brothers, and I'm going to say it like I'm talking to the sisters. But there's some dude that you went to bed with 2 or 3 times. The sex was good, but you didn't like him after a while. His personality sucked. Like, he looks like he's going to get violent. Yeah, the DICK was good, but I can't get with him. But you still have a soul tie, and he has an anger management problem. And you wake up angry out of nowhere, and you're like, why am I angry? I didn't dream anything bad. I had a good night last night. But then that anger is amplified because out of the 50 people you went to bed with, I'm not trying to say, 50 is low for some people and high for another. One's sad, one's depressed, one's confused, a bunch of them are angry. You see where I'm going with this? And you become a swirl of all of the people that you're connected to. That's bad enough, but what about this? Something that's not real, that you enjoy in your mind and orgasm with as you stroke yourself and look at these photos. We got to tell it like this because this is real, y'all. It's real. Oh no, she ain't real. The situation is real. I mean, it's bad enough with real live people where we don't know what's inside of them. We don't know what we're connecting to. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know what demons they're bringing. Let's just say this woman was real. And as good as most men would say she looks, we don't know if she's screwed up in the head because you're caught up in what you see. That's bad enough with a real human being. What is it now? When we go to whorehouses like the one in Toronto that have silicone dolls that look real, their hair smell real, the coochie smell real, all of it smell real and feel real too. And here's the other question. Since we give up so much of our life force, and I spoke about this in a particular video, men, when you go to a house of prostitution like that, where it's nothing but dolls in there, do you clean up the stuff that you deposit inside that doll? And if not, who does? And if they do, what are they doing with it? Is it really a business to make money from safe sex and prostitution with dolls? Or is it a DNA collection center for something out of this world that they can replicate with your sperm, a life form or something? They're doing all kind of stuff out here and we're not thinking. We just looking for pleasure. We're on a low vibration. I love pleasure. Who don't like their ding dong sucked? Ding, ding, dong, ding, 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 dong. But we have another head, fellas. We should have a mind. There's no mind down there. It's just friction. And too many of you, and I coined this term, glorified friction providers. You're seeking women to be glorified friction providers at any cost. I'll pay you. I'll lie to you and tell you I love you forever just to get a little bit of that friction. Use a challenge to my ego. So I'm going to get you. Mess with you 2 or 3 times and you see I'm losing interest. Let's go back to the root, y'all. We can never build a strong community focusing on a fake woman. I mean, many of us run to women of other races. But you're going to run to something that don't even exist? And you're going to give your energy to something that you can't see? And you're in a digital prison? You laying back spent? You got happy balls because they're empty now? You bought a family-sized jar of Vaseline and there's a whole lot left for the future sessions? And you, and you tell your boys, I ain't go up with that girl. I'm going to keep my money in my pocket, man. I'm going to go on there and watch me some of the little videos, man, get my thing off and go to sleep. But then you wonder, when you're older and old, and you're an old player who thought you were smart, and you're all by yourself, trying to find somebody to take care of your broken down behind. On the flip side, for those of us who are younger, focus and don't be so distracted. You will see women. We're not even talking about the artificial intelligence, digital soul snatchers. Take your time and find the right one, and don't be so blinded. It's more than just the body parts. Look deeper, because when the body parts sag a little bit, and yeah, we can take care of ourselves and fight gravity and eat the good food and keep ourselves clean, but eventually. So it's got to be more than that. So when you look at a visual like this, are you looking for true love? No. Are you looking for conversation? No. Are you looking for a long-term friendship? I'm going to be faithful to this artificial intelligence digital soul snatcher. It's just going to be me and her, nobody else. You a lie. You're not telling the truth. It's unbridled lust to the 25th power, the 25th million power. Dude told me one time, man, I used to masturbate so much, man, I saw a Vaseline and got aroused. I'm like, oh man, that's bad. No woman in sight, you just saw the jar of Vaseline. It turns you on. You might as well put pictures on the label so you ain't got to look at porn. Just look at the jar. No, but it's a serious thing. And what is it doing to us on a logical level? Okay, she looks nice. It's not about, and I'll just say personally for me, it was never like, it has to be this type. It's got to be a tall, a short, a heavier, a slimmer, whatever. It's about the person. It's about their life force. It's about their life force and their personality and their uniqueness. Because every real, fully developed woman, her cup runneth over. In the life force and energy and the comfort that she brings, just like you bring security, you bring strength, you bring wisdom, you bring direction. She righteously meshes with you. How are you going to mesh with a digital soul snatcher? They juxtapose so many faces of different women, and they come up with this. This was the plan from years ago, if you ask me. Take a selfie, take a selfie. There's a woman on Snapchat who sent me a message. I did not know who she was. First thing she said was, "Hi, handsome." Now, I don't know all that. You know what I mean? I don't know how I come off to people. And then she said, well, she said a few things and I ignored her. I said, let me see who this is. Then she said, like, where do you live? This, and I wasn't engaging like that. I was playing around to say, okay, I'm gonna mess with this one. Let's see what she's coming with. Because you know, most of what you talk to on many of these platforms are not real either. Just like when you go to a website and you want information from the website and they have the chat bot, at least they say bot in it now, but before they never said that. You thought you were talking to somebody human. And they have already ready-made answers for any inquiry that you may have. I go, thank you. And they always want to give you a page. Check this page and this is going to take care of it. Well, who are you? You know, I am so-and-so. And they cut off. Not real. Is that what you want to spend the rest of your life with? But that woman on Snapchat, she kept on, send me a photo, send me a photo. You know, on Snapchat, you don't have your real photos as an avatar. You create one. Most of the time, it doesn't even look like you. And I said, well, you called me handsome. So evidently you saw what I look like because I know I'm on different platforms. So I thought that's what it was. Well, no, send me a photo, send me a photo. And the first thing I thought about, this is one of those bots connected to artificial intelligence that wanted a picture of my face. And you could feed these pictures, millions of them, and different expressions. This is why it was pointed out on this particular Instagram page where I snatched the photos from, that in one of the photos, this girl that you're looking at had 6 fingers. See, what does that tell you? You can kind of get the face right with all of the countless millions of faces that are blended in. They compare that with what you look at. They hear what you say. Damn, that girl's gorgeous. You know I like a girl with thick hips. I like them short too. I like this, I like that. You got Alexa and Amazon, they can hear what you're saying. All this data is fed into something collecting it. Because on a demonic level, that's how it works also in real life. Evil entities know what you like. They're listening to you. Even when you're stroking yourself and you're watching them things, they know, oh, this is what you like? Okay, I'm going to have somebody just like that meet you, run into you, run across your path. And you meet them and you get into a situation that destroys your marriage. Or you meet them and you get into a situation that destroys you because they bat crap crazy. You got to be leery in this world because you don't know what you're looking at. And it may not even be just on an artificial intelligence, digital soul snatcher level. It could be somebody in real life. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what's inside of them. You don't know what's in their heart. I'm not telling you to walk around paranoid because I know I'm not paranoid. You need to be. Look, if it came to a thing where say, Lance, be paranoid all the way or not be paranoid, I'm going to be paranoid. I choose paranoia. I'm going to make a t-shirt, choose paranoia. It's going to stop you from a lot of the bull crap that we run across in this life with even real people. Now we got to worry about this fake stuff draining our life force. Keep your life force, fellas, for your woman that you have yet to choose or the one that you have in your life now. Work it out. Stay with them. You spent time together. You already started the soul ties. If she still has some from somewhere else, cleanse them. Do what you have to do to cleanse them. You cleanse yours. You make a better bond. I remember when my father would use this glue called epoxy. I don't know if how many of you remember that. Epoxy wasn't just one tube of glue. It was 2 different tubes that when combined got really strong. Very, very strong. And you had to put the glue on a clean surface because if it's not a clean surface, it won't have the glue. So when 2 people don't have the clean surface, their essence is not clean because they've been with too many people or they got too much drama in their heart, too much chaos in their heart. I don't care how you act on a superficial level. because you dumped your wife and you got with this other little pretty young thing and now everything's all right. No, it's not all right. You still have the stigma. You still have the residue. You still have the chaos, the confusion, the dysfunction that you chose to ignore, but you get into the pleasure to distract you from the work that you have to do. You are the president of your own life. You can go inside and clean your living room and have a wonderful party. If your backyard is nasty, it's going to get worse as time goes by. It's easy to work on the facade. And we're so used to that in the society in the present day that that's all we want now is a facade. Zoning into stuff like this, a decoy to lure us off of sharing our real life force, which is enriching to each other on a human level. I did a show weeks ago about touch starvation. And I ain't talking about just manipulation and foreplay. I'm talking about the real human touch, the vibration, the frequency, the connectedness that we have or had, because we don't have it like that anymore. If you really look at it in a society, most of us are hungry for something and we can't figure it out. We're hungry for a connectedness that we used to have. Where is the soul music, y'all? Why has the soul music been removed? Where are the art classes and art museums where we can think and express ourselves freely on a human level? Where are they? Where are the brothers who see each other on first say, hey, brother, how are you? I'm good, brother. Oh, brother, you know I can get a good pair of shoes around here? Look, go on down to 125th Street over there by 7th Avenue. I go there all the time. Brother, that's a nice shirt, man. That's a nice shirt you got. You're at a party, right? That's a nice shirt. Today, what you look at my shirt for? What's wrong with you? Back in the day, man, thank you, man. Thank you so much. Man, I got to borrow that shirt. Well, listen, I can tell you where you can go get it. Where's the love? Look at the themes of the music we used to have back in the 70s, back in the 60s and before. It was always about love. That has been taken away. It's gangsterism, materialism, lust, homosexuality being pushed on our youngsters. It's okay to do this. It's okay. I know somebody's going to get mad that I say I can't even say I'm sorry. I'm just sick and damn tired across the board of how this whole world, what it evolved into right in front of our very eyes, because a lot of us are too damn narcissistic, too damn attention seeking, and the selfies and the nosiness and the making our avatars and different profiles. And we got 10 different profiles, 10 different personalities. This is the church profile. This is the going out to the club profile. This is the womanizing profile. This is the scam profile. This is the status profile to make it seem like I make $500,000 a year. Frauds. So don't be mad when this stuff is kicked back to you and it fools you and robs your life force and you find yourself at a certain age void of love, void of being connected, void of your very life. I know there's some points I missed, and I'm not going to sit here and try to talk for the next 6 hours. All I want to say, make a comment on LANCESCURV.com. The link will be in the chat room. Let's communicate there. I don't really want to, I'm a content creator, but guess what? They're using us. Let's make phone calls. Let's write letters. Let's send emails. Let's talk direct. We can use technology. We can FaceTime. I'm in Ghana. Who's going to come out here to visit me? But hey, let's do a FaceTime. Let's talk. Let's look in each other's eyes. We don't need to LOL anymore. We need to have that gut-busting laugh where something's real funny, and after a while we're so messed up from the laugh, we sit there, oh, you're crazy. Oh, I still won't start, man. What happened to that? LOL. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. The Creator gave us such a beautiful world to live in. Perfect order. What you mean perfect? Man messed it up. Man messed this world up. We need to get out of the man-made engineered system. Now they're giving us digital soul snatchers. What's next? I don't want to know. Just know that I love you all. I hope you think about the words that I shared, because I shared them from the heart. And I really do mean it. Digital soul snatchers. What's next? Are you really connected with the person you're supposed to be with? Are you really connected with the community? Are you really thinking outside of yourself to leave a legacy for those who are coming up behind us? Is this really a relay race where we can pass the baton on to somebody else who's there waiting for us? Let's run the race hard so we give them an advantage, instead of thinking about how many toys and baubles and rubies and trinkets and cars and apartments and money and clothes and status that we're going to die off this level. See, when you think that way, you're going to die. But when you think righteously, beyond this level, knowing that our energy is going to transition, you live on forevermore. I love you all. Thank you so much. Peace. LANCESCURV out.
Make sure to go to LANCESCURV.com, an online magazine established in 2001, containing written articles, thousands of talk shows and discussions, cutting-edge cartoons, as well as erotic expressions and tasteful adult photography. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you get a taste of the world of LANCESCURV, trust me, you'll be back for more. LANCESCURV.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.